How often do we ponder the relationship between self-love and stoicism? It's a question that might seem unusual at first glance. After all, aren't these two concepts diametrically opposed? Self-love, with its emphasis on nurturing one's own well-being and happiness, seems to stand in stark contrast to stoicism, a philosophy rooted in emotional resilience and acceptance of life's hardships. Yet as we peel back the layers, we find that these two concepts are not as contradictory as they might appear. In fact, they can coexist, intertwine, and even complement each other in surprising ways. It's this unexpected intersection of self-love and stoicism that we'll be exploring today. Imagine self-love as a wellspring, a source of strength and positivity that fortifies us from within. It's about acknowledging our own worth, respecting our boundaries, and cultivating a healthy relationship with ourselves. It bolsters our confidence, motivates us to pursue our passions, and ultimately fosters our growth as individuals. On the other hand, Stoicism, with its roots in ancient Greece, teaches us to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity. It encourages us to accept life as it is, rather than how we wish it to be. Stoicism doesn't mean suppressing our emotions, but rather understanding them, managing them, and not allowing them to control us. Now you may ask, where does the intersection lie? How can one practice self-love while also embracing Stoic principles? Well, the answer lies in the balance. It's about nurturing our inner selves while also developing emotional resilience. It's about pursuing happiness but also accepting life's inevitable challenges. It's about loving ourselves but not becoming slaves to our desires and emotions. By understanding these two powerful concepts, we can unlock a new perspective on personal development. We can learn to navigate life with grace, strength, and a deep sense of self-love. We can become better equipped to handle the ups and downs, the joys and sorrows, the triumphs and trials that life throws our way. Join us on this enlightening journey as we explore the depths of self-love and stoicism. Self-love, a term often thrown around, but what does it truly mean? Let's unravel this together. At its core, self-love is an appreciation of oneself. It's about having a high regard for your own happiness and well-being. Self-love means taking care of your own needs and not sacrificing your well-being to please others. It's about not settling for less than you deserve. You see, self-love is not just about feeling good or indulging yourself in the moment. It's much more profound. It's about genuinely understanding and accepting who you are, your strengths and weaknesses, your achievements and your failures. It's about knowing your worth and having the courage to stand up for yourself. Importantly, self-love is not a destination. It's a journey. It requires daily practice and commitment. It's about making choices every day that support your well-being and happiness. It's about being kind and gentle with yourself, especially when you're going through tough times. Now let's talk about the importance of self-love. Self-love serves as the foundation for your overall well-being. It influences who you pick for a mate, the image you project at work, and how you cope with the problems in your life. It affects your physical, mental, and emotional health. When you love yourself, you take care of your physical health. You eat healthy, exercise regularly, and get enough sleep. Mentally, when you practice self-love, you become more resilient. You're better able to handle stress, overcome challenges, and bounce back from failures. Emotionally, self-love helps you create healthier relationships. You become more compassionate and understanding, not just towards others, but also towards yourself. However, there are some misconceptions about self-love that we need to address. Self-love is not about being selfish or narcissistic. It's not about thinking you're better than others or putting your needs above everyone else's. Instead, it's about respecting and taking care of yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself for others. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. You need to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. This is not selfishness, it's practicality. Lastly, let's highlight the difference between self-love and selfishness. Self-love is about recognizing and meeting your own needs while also considering the needs of others. It's about creating boundaries and saying no when necessary. On the other hand, selfishness is about prioritizing your needs without considering the impact on others. It's about taking without giving back. In essence, Self-love is an essential ingredient for a healthy and fulfilling life. It's about appreciating and accepting who you are, taking care of your needs, and making choices that support your well-being and happiness. So let's embark on this journey of self-love together, and let's see how it transforms our lives. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, yet so relevant in today's chaotic world. Let's take a moment to journey back in time, about 2,000 years ago, to the bustling streets of ancient Greece and Rome. Here we'll find the birthplace of Stoicism, a philosophical movement that has stood the test of time. At the heart of Stoicism are four cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom is the knowledge of what is good and evil, what is indifferent, and the ability to navigate through life's complexities. Courage, on the other hand, is not just about bravery in the face of physical danger, but also the moral courage to stand by your principles. Justice involves treating others with fairness, while temperance is the practice of self-restraint and moderation. These virtues provide a moral compass, guiding us toward a life of tranquility and fulfillment. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control and to accept what is not. It's about understanding the transient nature of life, accepting change, and finding peace amidst chaos. Think of it as a pragmatic toolkit for life's challenges, helping us to remain steadfast and serene. Now, it's essential to debunk some misconceptions about Stoicism. Some may view it as a philosophy promoting emotional repression or indifference. This couldn't be further from the truth. Stoicism doesn't advocate for the suppression of emotions, but rather their understanding and management. It encourages us to step back, observe our emotions without judgment, and decide how best to respond rather than react impulsively. Stoicism also doesn't mean living a life devoid of joy or pleasure. Quite the contrary. Stoics deeply value joy, but they find it in different places than most. They find joy in virtue, in wisdom, in the simple appreciation of life itself. They understand that external goods, wealth, fame and the like, are not ultimately within our control and therefore not reliable sources of happiness. In our daily lives we can apply Stoicism in various ways. When faced with adversity, we can remind ourselves of the impermanence of the situation and focus on what we can control, our reactions. We can practice gratitude for what we have rather than longing for what we don't. We can strive to act with wisdom, courage, justice and temperance, even when it's difficult. Ultimately, Stoicism is about living in accordance with nature and reason. It's about recognizing our place in the universe, understanding our limitations, and striving to be the best versions of ourselves. It's about cultivating inner peace and resilience, regardless of external circumstances. So in the grand stage of life, Stoicism serves as the script that guides us, the director that shapes our actions, and the audience that quietly observes our emotions. It's a philosophy not just for understanding the world, but for navigating through it with grace and equanimity. Stoicism, far from being about suppressing emotions, is about understanding and managing them. Now that we understand self-love and Stoicism, how do we strike the balance between the two? It's an intriguing question, isn't it? One that might seem paradoxical at first glance. Self-love, with its emphasis on self-care and emotional nourishment, seems to stand in stark contrast to the Stoic ideal of emotional restraint and resilience. But as we delve deeper, we'll discover that these two concepts can, in fact, coexist harmoniously. Firstly, let's address the elephant in the room, the perceived contradiction between self-love and Stoicism. It lies in the misconception that Stoicism promotes emotional suppression. Quite the contrary, Stoicism encourages us to acknowledge our emotions but not be dictated by them. Similarly, self-love is not about indulging in every emotional whim, but about understanding and caring for our emotional selves. Thus, the first step to balancing these concepts is to dispel this myth. Now let's delve into the practicalities. How can we maintain emotional balance, a cornerstone of both self-love and Stoicism? The key lies in adopting a Stoic mindset towards our emotions. This involves acknowledging our emotions, understanding their transient nature, and not letting them control our actions. It's about taking a step back, observing our emotional state without judgment, and then deciding on the best course of action. This practice, known as mindfulness, is a powerful tool for emotional balance and is at the heart of both self-love and Stoicism. Next, we turn to resilience. How can we cultivate this essential quality while practicing self-love? Once again, Stoicism provides the answer. Stoicism teaches us to see challenges as opportunities for growth, to embrace discomfort as a means to build strength. When we view our struggles from this perspective, we foster resilience. And when we couple this resilience with self-love, we not only navigate through life's challenges, but also ensure we're taking care of ourselves in the process. Finally, we come to the practice of self-care, an integral part of self-love. How can we engage in self-care while embracing Stoic principles? Well, Stoicism doesn't mean neglecting our needs. Instead, it encourages us to focus on what's within our control, and taking care of our physical, emotional, and mental well-being is certainly within our control. So, indulge in activities that nourish you, that recharge your batteries, but do so mindfully. Be aware of your needs, but also understand the difference between need and excess. In conclusion, balancing self-love with Stoicism is not a Herculean task. It's about understanding the true essence of these concepts, about dispelling misconceptions, and about adopting a mindful, balanced approach to life. It's about acknowledging our emotions without being ruled by them, seeing challenges as opportunities for growth, and taking care of ourselves in a mindful, balanced manner. Balancing self-love with Stoicism is the key to a harmonious and fulfilling life. It's a journey of self-discovery, resilience, and emotional balance. And it's a journey well worth embarking on. Mastering self-love with Stoicism is not an overnight process, but a journey of self-discovery and growth. As we've journeyed through this exploration together, we've come to understand that self-love and Stoicism are not opposing forces, but rather two sides of the same coin. They intersect and intertwine, each enhancing the other, and it's within this intersection that personal growth truly blossoms. We've learnt that self-love is not simply about pampering oneself or indulging in fleeting pleasures. It's about understanding and accepting oneself, acknowledging our strengths and weaknesses, and valuing ourselves for who we are, not what we do or what we have. It's about cultivating a compassionate internal dialogue and treating oneself with kindness and respect. Stoicism, on the other hand, teaches us to detach from external circumstances and focus on what's within our control. It encourages us to develop a deep sense of inner peace and equanimity, regardless of the storms that may rage around us. It's about cultivating resilience, wisdom, and emotional intelligence. When we blend self-love with Stoicism, we begin to master the art of self-compassion without falling into the trap of self-pity. We learn to value ourselves even as we detach from the need for external validation. We develop emotional resilience, able to weather life's storms without losing our sense of self-worth. The benefits of mastering self-love with Stoicism are profound. Self-awareness blooms as we become more attuned to our inner world and less swayed by external circumstances. Emotional intelligence grows as we learn to navigate our emotions with grace and wisdom. Resilience strengthens as we learn to bounce back from adversity and maintain our self-worth, even in the face of challenges. But remember, this journey is not a race, nor is it a destination. It's a process of continuous growth and discovery, a path that unfolds at its own pace. It's a personal journey, unique to each individual. Remember, the journey to mastering self-love with Stoicism is a personal one, so be patient with yourself and enjoy the process.